Hey friends. Okay, so we are talking about the 13th century. This is essentially the 1200s. So I'm going to start a timer as always, so I don't rant for too long. Okay, let's get started. The Mongol Empire was founded by Genghis Khan, which stretched from Eastern Asia to Eastern Europe. The conquests of Hulagu Khan and other Mongol invasions changed the course of the Muslim world, most notably the Siege of Baghdad and the destruction of the House of Wisdom. In one of the previous episodes, we discussed the House of Wisdom. The House of Wisdom was in Baghdad, and it was a major Abbasid-era public academy. It was one of the world's largest public libraries during what was called the Islamic Golden Age. So it seems that this Golden Age of Islam has come crashing by the hands of Mongol invaders. And like it says here, it changed the course of the Muslim world. Now I've heard of Genghis Khan. I'm going to hover over him. It says here, Genghis Khan, also known as Chinggis Khan, was the founder and first Khan of the Mongol Empire. After spending most of his life uniting the Mongol tribes, he launched a series of military campaigns, conquering large parts of China and Central Asia. I'm going to open a new reading list for him, add it to my never-ending reading list. And the Siege of Baghdad is in 1258, so this is the 13th century. Muslim world has changed course. Other Muslim powers such as the Mali Empire and Delhi Sultanate conquered large parts of West Africa and the Indian subcontinent, while Buddhism witnessed a decline through the conquest led by Bakhtiyar Khilji. This is a Turco-Afghan military general of the Ghurid ruler Muhammad of Ghor, and he led many Muslim conquests in India and Bengal. The earliest Islamic states in Southeast Asia formed during this century, most notably Samudera Pasai. The kingdoms Sukhothai and Hanthawaddy would emerge and go on to dominate their surrounding territories. Europe entered the apex of the High Middle Ages, characterized by rapid legal, cultural, and religious evolution, as well as economic dynamism. All right, so apex means the top or highest part of something. So it's the high point of the Middle Ages. And religious evolution as well as economic dynamism. Dynamism is the quality of being characterized by vigorous activity and progress. So there's a lot of progress. It's the apex of the Middle Ages. Crusades after the Fourth, while mostly unsuccessful in re-Christianizing the Holy Land, inspired the desire to expel Muslim presence from Europe that drove the Reconquista and solidified a sense of Christendom. Okay, so the Reconquista, I'm adding it to the reading list. That is the reconquest of Al-Andalus from the hands of Muslim kingdoms who had conquered it in centuries prior. To the north, the Teutonic Order Christianized and gained dominance of Prussia, Estonia, and Livonia. I will note here that Prussia, Estonia, Livonia. These are already we will see these in the early modern period, I think, these states. Teutonic Order is a Catholic religious institution founded in the 12th century in Jerusalem. In the Kingdom of Jerusalem, rather, in Acre. Inspired by new translations into Latin of classical works preserved in the Islamic world for over thousands of years, Thomas Aquinas developed scholasticism, which dominated the curricula of the new universities. Okay, wow, we have the birth, it seems, of universities. It's the first time I'm seeing this in Wikipedia's histories, is this term. So we have a new one, scholasticism, and Thomas Aquinas. So it feels like we can credit him we can credit this Thomas Aquinas fellow with the development of scholasticism. Adding those to my reading list, I don't know what's going to happen. I have so much stuff there. All right, moving on. In England, King John signed the Magna Carta, beginning the tradition of parliamentary advisement in England. So Magna Carta, commonly called Magna Carta or sometimes Magna Charta, is a royal charter of rights agreed by King John of England at Runnymede, near Windsor. So it seems that this Magna Carta really shaped England, and it was it sort of paved the way for the parliamentary system, which governs many modern states till this day, including the United States. I think the United States is some sort of parliamentary system. I know Canada is. I know that England is the Westminster parliamentary system. Okay, so moving on, and I'm going to try to speed a little bit up because I'm going into overtime. The Southern Song dynasty began the century as a prosperous kingdom, but were later invaded and annexed into the Yuan dynasties of the Mongols. The Kumakara shogunate of Japan successfully resisted not one but two Mongol invasions attempted in 1274 and 1281. The Korean state of Goryeo resisted a Mongol invasion, but eventually sued for peace and became a client state of the Yuan dynasty. In North America, according to some population estimates, the population of the Cahokia grew to be comparable to the population of 13th century London. That is, it doesn't say how many people, but it's just an interesting piece of comparative history. In Peru, the kingdom of Cusco began as part of the late intermediate period. In Mayan civilization, the 13th century marked the beginning of the late post-classical period. The Kanem Empire in what is now Chad reached its apex, and the Solomonic dynasty of the House Solomon in Ethiopia and the Zimbabwe kingdoms were founded. Here we have Italian Fibonacci's showing the Fibonacci sequence. Liber Abaci. This looks really cool, actually. I think I'm going to click into this. And for lack of time, I'm going to end this one. See you guys in the next installment of this sort of climb through history.